Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to try to do some quickness today because technically I'm out of the office. I'm out of the office, but I have the spirit of Oya present. Oh, wow. Angel. Quite messy, huh? Let's go. Present. And I was going to tell you guys quickly. So, yesterday it was Judgments passed down. So I was down here, I was doing the dishes, right? And up above, it was like a court in session, like a big old court. And energy, it wasn't even a real form, it was just a light. So this is what I will say as the supreme being, the supreme creator, the universal God, had to take a step back. Hold on, don't do that. That's mine. Breakfast, avocado, and juice. Universal God, and then he called a lot of people from government, like doctors and lawyers and things like that. He called all of them, and he told me to ground the judgment. So basically, they were guilty on all counts. Guilty on all counts. Everyone received death except the doctors who went falsely against who spoke falsely against the oath. They are now slaves in the lower realm. So they have to do everything now low in the lower realm, right? So here you go. This is right. So now they have to do that. Okay, so then after the judgments were passed out, there was a okay, I can't really talk about it too much without spoiling a lot of things that are coming. I don't want to spoil it. I want everyone to be surprised and excited and happy. But we had a meeting of the chiefs. So this is different. So the meeting of the chiefs was a reestablishment of the trees. So regrounding their energy so that we can allow the people who are not of this earth to come through the trees. Have their physical form here, but their spirit is so big, it will burst on impact through the layer that's around the earth. So they have to place it's just like checking your bags when you go to the motherfucking airport. They check it and put it through the trees. The trees will filter the rest of their soul and then put it back when they get here, right? So you got to check your motherfucking bags. So then we had the meeting of the people who have already been here and established a new treaty between governing bodies of the land already. Okay? So once they get here, they have 72 hours to check in with the person who is the head of that area. So if they don't check in within 72 hours, they automatically lose their license So what I mean by their license is they can't go back unless they check in, because you have to see, again, who's flying where and what, like this whole thing is intricate. So they have to check in with the chiefs of the area that they land in. They don't check in, then they lose their license, period. So then we take a step back and we talk about what I was talking about yesterday. So the energy that I went and I traveled in time in order to get information, I ran into the energy of Solomon yesterday. And I was watching a television show and I was like, I think something's going on here. And I had to take my souls and put them on a specific frequency. It's not even like fucking like something simple. It's an intricate frequency that had to be aligned. Very difficult, but that just shows that the level that this entity is at, right? And so most of the night, it was catching up, providing riddles, which 99% of the people, when I give a riddle, they can't really solve it. You know, for example, this is a riddle that I did this morning. So you have a man. He climbs to a top of he climbs to the top of a coconut tree, a palm tree. He climbs to the top of the palm tree, and he has a flower, a rose, and he places it on top of the palm tree. Climbs down and leaves. A gust of wind came a few months later, a few days later, and swept the flower away. When the man climbed up, the flower was gone and he fell from the tree. Why did he fall? Why did he fall? So most people will think that there's no correlation between the answer and the question. So people were like yin and yang and A and B, but really what people don't understand is the answer is Q. So this is why I love telling the story, because you have to think of it from a mind of a child. You have to think of it from a mind of a esoteric being. Stop, mommy. Hi. You got to think of it from a different mind. You got to think of it from your God mind. Why would a man, what spell is it to put a flower at the top of a palm tree? What spell is that? Why would the flower fall? Why would a gust of wind be important? You have to basically align all of these questions within the mind, and the mind of God will spit out the answer. So if you're not intricately involved with the conversation and God on a daily basis, you have no idea what I'm talking about. You're like, fucking, none of that makes sense. Why would the man fall? And why would the gust of wind take the flower? It has a lot to do with neglect. It has a lot to do with greed. And it has a lot to do with not checking in on the tree and the flower. You always got to go back and give attention to that flower, because eventually, if the flower feels neglected, it'll leave the tree. And it'll leave the tree by when? Because the mother says you cannot have this virginity. You cannot have this flower up here by itself without producing fruit. You have to feed the tree. You got to give to the tree. You got to water it, because the flower up there is the virginity of the wind. So when he got that answer, I was just like, ooh, wow. That's rare. The way my mind works is on some shit. So it was weird to see his energy in this dimension. It was very, 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 very weird. Because I had a lot of reserve around this story and this plot line that has been continuing for freaking centuries, so long. But I gotta speak my truth, because at the end of the day, like, I at the end of the day, it's my duty to speak up for myself, whether it be here or in a different form. So, when I had my meeting, so like I had a different meeting this morning from on a spiritual level with and the electricity that I passed to some of these men activities and men are the authority. So like if you've ever felt just this like up your spine, it's like it's an energy that's rough, but it calms down. It's like an electrical storm. It's basically me passing this energy back to the masculine from God. So it is like basically giving the lineage lightning bolts, giving the lineage lightning bolts so that they can use the authority that they have from God to transfer that lightning bolt. And the masculine, if he has the right connection with the divine feminine, with the mother, he takes this lightning bolt and he's able to do the Zeus things he needs to motherfucking do. he has to do the Zeus things that he's got to motherfucking do. If he's gonna rule the fucking skies, if he's gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be this energy, this entity, this chief or whatever, you gotta have the hand of lightning. You have to have the hand of lightning to be able to hold it. And it's beautiful to me, but a lot of the bullets for the lightning bolt comes from me because the Father passes it through the ether because it's a ton of energy. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of fucking energy, right? So that much energy has to go through something heavy. It has to go through heaviness of ether. So when I formulate it like a big old coochie, big old pussy. I formulate it like that. And then when Father sends it down, it goes right through it. And I have this like crown, just like the moon, where I could transfer, depending on which moon, which hole that needs to be governed for the masculine. Boom. Anyway, so then we're going to rewind. Ogun came in the dream last night with Oya. The reason that I know these two entities were in the dream realm is because Oya governs the marketplace in the dream realm. And she went into the marketplace and noticed that the white feminine, the white woman, has taken over the marketplace from a yoga perspective, motherfuckers, because they knew what the stretch is and they got the knowledge by fucking their way through the system and blaming it on other people. Number one, they fucked their way through the system And they created barriers to where women of color couldn't get their shop going. They couldn't get their shop going because they wanted more space than allotted to them, and nobody was checking them, right? Nobody was checking them. So the white woman would create these big old tables. You don't want it? They would create these big old tables in the spiritual realm with all of their, like, crystals and whatever the fuck else they put, and bracelets and necklaces and shit like that. And then they would block out the black woman from putting her table up front. Motherfucking know y'all don't play about that. So you're gonna see a big change in the market. It's gonna be a big change in the market. I don't know how that looks, but what I saw was public hangings of those who misrepresented themselves in a lot of these spiritual practices from the feminine standpoint. I don't know about the masculine standpoint because that's not my shit. I was in the marketplace where the women rule the shit. And they said, because you fucking did this and moved your shit in front instead of sharing the wealth, sharing it, and whoever got the best motherfucking product gets to the top of the fucking thing with the best motherfucking spot, y'all cheated. And she goes, cheaters never win. And she had this thing, big old whip looking thing, long tail, looked like an ox tail or a buffalo tail, And she grabbed it, and she grabbed this woman by her neck and pulled her in. And then she looked dead in her eye, and then she jumped up in the air and then hung that girl. She don't play about her motherfucking marketplace. She don't play about her marketplace. I'm sorry to continue this, but that was pretty scary to me because part of me ran. Part of me ran. Went back to the car and I was just like, hey, Tiffany. Hey. Part of me ran back to the car. I was like, I don't know. Get on her bad side. She had to come back to the car and sit next to me and be like, hey, everything okay? I was like, yeah, everything's fine. However, she goes, so you remember that crystal business that you started? I was like, yeah, I remember the crystal business. She goes, you want to get it back up and running? And I give you the she's like, you can still use the same name, if Oshun is okay with it. And she's like, I will work the back end of it and you work the front end of it and we can make this shit popping. And I was just like, I'm happy to be on your side, sis. I was like, I'm happy to be on your side, sis. Because that was scary. She goes, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. She goes, I'm about to clean this shit up. She goes, now that I have my I don't know what she called it. She's like, now that I have my thing back, I can actually exercise and become the judge in the marketplace. I was like, okay. I was like, I have to get back somewhere. Do you want me to drop you off somewhere? She goes, yeah. Can you drop me at Ogun's? I was like, yeah, sure. So we went to this place. I'm thinking, I don't know where it is. I think it's in like either, if I look at the streets signs, it's either Oakland or Michigan. Somewhere. I don't know. It was a pretty cool house. And he had a whole house full of niggas. It was hella motherfuckers in that house. And as soon as I pulled up, driving, He come out the house and she go run into him and wrap her legs around him. I was like, oh, I was like, y'all got it like that. I was like, y'all do it like that. And then I let them go to do their thing, and I peeked in a little bit, and some weird shit started to happen. I don't even know what, but somebody tried to break into the room, and another man was jealous or something like that, so he came and tried to get Oya out by like banging on the door and shit. I'm like, am I in a making drama? I was like, gosh, let's go. Like, I don't want to be here no more. These niggas is crazy. I was like, the war situation, we gotta cut it. We gotta cut that shit down. She's like, we're not making war, we're making love, and people are jealous because when we make love, we make shit happen. Well, y'all don't go and make love, they make shit motherfucking happen on a physical realm like that. Because war is grounded. And if you can ground a motherfucking storm through loyalty, if you can ground a motherfucking tornado through loyalty, yeah. Call my people. If you could ground her spirit through loyalty in that plane, everything is about to change. Because they have come to the conclusion that they want to make love, not war. They almost fucking broke the house down, nigga. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, give me some. So listen to so then what happened after we went to there? I remember leaving, and I think I went back to the ocean for some reason. Like, I think that's my access point. That was my access point. Like, the Yamaya spirit had be like, hey, we gotta go. Eve, get in the water. You gotta go back to your body. So anything else that happened between those dream realms, I was mainly having a conversation in the sleep with Solomon. It's like, he don't motherfucking sleep. He don't sleep at all. I don't know. I mean, it's like, how much is you contemplating that you don't really sleep or dream too much, you know? And he's a very good dream interpreter, though. He's very, very good at dream interpretation, because my dreams be wild, fucking wild. And I was telling him some of them. He goes, this is a lot of information. I wish I could see it in the reality. I was just like, hey, shit, I got hell of it on. I record almost all my fucking thoughts. I was like, nobody really fucking be on my page, but it's all sitting there like a fucking gold mine. It's gold. Because if you could really dig into the psyche and understand that each video that I post has a story, but it lines up with a vision, and then if you understand is it's recreating a tree. I'm recreating a tree, and the best fruits is gonna come from the tree, and be allowed to have new visions. Like, it's a re-download of all of the visions, a re-download of all of the text. It's a re-download. I'm just re-downloading a lot of stuff through verbal communication, because I got spirits coming in. When I say ooh, I, depending on who, I'll be like, what did I just say? What's next? They just portaling in to communicate. So I was telling him, I was just like, if you ever find me, it's a prophetess Roseanne, you know. I used to be projecting, the videos through the stars. If you ever, find out, then if you go back to the beginning from my first video, which was 144,000, and the twin flame uh, story, this twin flame. I always start with the twin flame because the twin flame energy burns off residual uh, heart energy, heart chakra energy. That's too much, you know. Oh my gosh! Oh, my niece! Oh shit! So then when I start to reinterpret some of the conversations that we had, it's just exciting to have somebody who thinks on my level. I'm not jump out of a jump out of the boat just because of revelation of identity. I'm not going to jump out of the boat. However, I am excited to share information. I'm excited to share information with this spirit of Solomon, this spirit, and help to assist in providing more information to the whale, so that he can sprout all of the energy from the lower realm into the brain. So that's an exciting part. It's very, very, very exciting. And then what is your tereja? Tereja. Nana boy. Money. Destiny. Okay, so God is reworking some destiny. Mommy, go get it. God is reworking some destinies of some people because we had relocated some spirits. We had to relocate some spirits that weren't pulling their weight within the hierarchy of our spiritual mission. And if you woke up and you're feeling a little different, just know that you were made anew. So once you were made anew, that means your whole body was rebuilt and remolded. So if you have any problems with your updates, then I will most definitely ping me. Like I'm getting a call right now. Hold on. What does that mean? You were made anew. What does that mean that you were made anew? If you weren't pulling your weight in the spiritual realm, that means that your identity was taken over. Like you may feel like you're you, but you're not you. Your whole head was rebuilt and a new spirit was placed inside. I mean, that's what God does of all heads. So if you didn't pull your motherfucking weight, that's on you. That was I knew. But for real, it was on you. So that means that you have new entities that just came last night. It was placed in forms. So now we're going to start seeing a little bit more progress. A lot of progress in a lot of these areas of spirit teaming up with physical, because we're already about to be in December. That means we got 30 fucking days. And that's pretty scary to me. If that's like 30 days, then it's like, niggas, we got to make stuff happen. And then I realized time is just a construct, but I also realized that we gotta realize there's still on the physical plane an identity of time. Father time. Father time has a sand clock, and the sand clock is running out. So if the sand clock run out, the last rose drop from the beast machine, I'm afraid that I'm not afraid, but whether we like it or not, we can't push any more identity. We can't push anymore. It's gonna have to be taken over and pushed for us. The weight of the world, man, is on our shoulders as gods and goddesses and entities. However, if we don't keep our end of the bargain, then shit is about to mess up. Anyway, we have 3131, which means I'm gonna have to get off and just meditate a little more. But I want to give a quick shout out to the sun. I was talking to the sun briefly this morning and the trees on my way out to the market. And the sun was telling me that there is a mass exodus coming, or mass exodus, something to do with a large amount of people leaving. Exodus, movement of the people. So mass exodus, which makes me start to contemplate that maybe we on the same motherfucking page. That's it. I gave you guys so much information yesterday and the day before and the day before that I'm gonna relax. It's Saturday. Sunday. Sunday. It's Sunday. I'm gonna relax. Think about the colors. Think about where I'm placed. Think about how the left side is the trees and the right side is the kitchen. Just think about the placements and where I sit within the home. Think about things on a deeper fucking level instead of somebody just shouting and saying all this other stuff and giving you book knowledge. Think it from a different perspective. Things are a lot deeper than they seem. But everyone wants the surface level beauty to be exposed. Y'all just want the surface level of beauty to be exposed. And another thing that I motherfucking heard that made me so motherfucking mad, number motherfucking one. If a woman chooses to be in a little bikini top with a little thing, that's her business. If you want to be modest, be modest. Cover yourself up. Do what you want. But don't get on the next motherfucking woman for having her shit out. Don't get on the next motherfucking woman because, and then people are like, oh, it's because it'll tempt the man. Fuck the man. If you can't control your little dick, nigga, you don't deserve to be on this planet. You don't deserve to be on a feminine entity. Telling me I need to cover my ass with the spirits in there. Fuck them. Fuck y'all. If I want to be nude, I'm going to be nude. If I want to show my shit, I'm going to show my shit. Number motherfucking one. Saying to cover your ass up, cover up. Or said that God wants us, or God said, 90% of the time when I'm hanging out with God, I'm naked. when I'm in the spiritual realm, I'm fucking butt ass naked, walking around. He don't say nothing. He don't say nothing to me. He don't care. It's y'all came out and made these men came out to make these rules. Men made the rules. Telling you to cover up. That shit. Telling you to cover up because the men, it's respectful to the men if we don't show all of our goods to every. My goods is in here. My goods is in here. My goods is on the inside of my body. My honey pot is secure. Nigga can't go in that door unless he fucking talk to God. If you want to be modest, girl, because you want to. Not because a rule man said, cover up, cover your head, cover your butt, cover your legs, cover your feet, cover your arms, cover your face. No, I'm not going to do that shit because a man tell me to. Or a woman. God never told me that. I even talked to him. I was like, God, I enjoy the freedom of when the wind touches my lower back, or when the wind caresses me, or when the sun got my fucking titties. I enjoy that because it's me being in nature, conforming to nature, becoming a tree, becoming a starfish, because I can maneuver more fluidly when I ain't fucking dressed. If I'm on a beach butt ass motherfucking naked, I can shift my melanin to go into the sea to become a fucking dolphin. Like, nigga, no, I'm not covering the fuck up. Fuck you. Telling me I need to cover it up. It's more modest than the men. You won't be tempting the men. Y'all motherfuckers will fall for any fucking thing with them little ass dicks, nigga. Y'all don't even know how to control the fucking air. If you can control earth, air, fire, water, ether, whatever, you can control that now. Because you are a magician. You know what I'm saying? You a magician. You is a magician. Control it. Her flesh ain't got shit to do with you. Her body ain't got shit to do with you. It's got nothing to do with you. She's a shapeshifter, nigga. She's shape-shifting. She needs the freedom to roam. She needs the freedom to go about. But y'all on a different mode. Y'all is on what I call follow mode, sheep mode. Boop. Sheep mode. Activated. Y'all on sheep mode. I don't care what nobody say. I respect y'all positions, but I went back in time and I talked to the leaders because I wanted to know what the shit was about. It's men sitting in a fucking group creating rules on how they want to rule over women. I was like, can I come in the door? They were like, oh, women aren't allowed. They said, you can't come in. You can't make this. You can't. I was like, you're going to shut the door from me because I'm feminine? Here, let me shift my form. I shifted and I was a nigga. And they still was like, no, you can't do magic. You can't do that. We're not a part of that. We're about control. I said, okay, bye. I went up to God. I said, God, they're seeking to dominate women by rules, and it's not fair. So I'm gonna go take a break. I'm going on vacation. I'm going to the Pleiades. If anyone needs me, here's my one number. You can only reach me from one number, and God, only you can. Everyone else, my kids, my sons, anything they need from me, they can go fuck off. I said that to God, and he goes, so be it. They locked you out the door, okay? And created this shit without you, without the feminine's perspective. So whatever comes from it, comes from it. I said, okay. This is one of the times I left. I left a bunch of fucking times. Because y'all don't fuck. They didn't listen to me. They still don't listen to me. Still. To this day. To this motherfucking day. But it's getting better. It's getting better. Especially once I sent the wave. Somebody was so strong to stop some of it. I was like, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. So I did it again yesterday. I did the wave again. Went to the bottom of the sea. Went to Argon U. Was like, I said, give it all to me. I said, give it all to me, babes. It's about that time. It's about that time. Okay, so again, about the whole modesty thing, like, be modest if you want, cover it up and tease it or whatever fucking floats your boat, but don't be mad if the next woman chooses the opposite, because most of these men, I'm telling you, they sneaky as fuck. And the women, they sneaky. They be going backstage to these what's it called, whorehouses, to get their fucking real shit. They be going to the whorehouses, and it's like crazy to me. Like, you pretend to be this upstanding citizen, and you put on a show with the wifey, but you passing her the juices of some hot woman that you was fucking. Your saliva transfers to her, right? Right? Your saliva when you was kissing her. Some of these niggas was eating these bitches out, knowing damn well there was fucking hella men. So, but then want to go play God in the church, in the mosque. Want to go play God, but then go behind the scenes, and I'm getting all these pictures of it. Most of the girls have to answer to somebody. They under contract too, nigga. They're all under contract because you're using a portal. If you're using a portal, you gotta pay. You gotta pay to play. You got to pay. That means you're marrying one of my women when you go inside. So when you was with all the women, you John niggas, you John Johnson and motherfucking niggas, when you was with all these women, you was just making contracts with these hoes. Hoes, you call them. Prostitutes, you call them. Porn stars, you call them. You was making the motherfucking contracts, just watching it. And when you was watching a lot of it, you are in debt. You're in debt. You're in fucking debt. You owe. These motherfucking companies that act like they own these women and and they pimping them out and shit like that, they owe. They owe. They're under contract. If you use any portal, you're under a contract. You're under a contract, spiritual contract. That means your money is my money. If you can't pay, the soul is my soul. You know what I mean? Like, it's mine. You can't bankrupt the system, nigga. You can't bankrupt shit. The goddess of love means sex too. I know you don't love that bitch, but you fucking her. Pay me. Fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. Shit. When you go to sleep after you got your little nut in the system, You're planting a seed in the spiritual. Technically, if you're planting a seed in the spiritual, you're on my ground. You're on my land. That's my land. So if you nutting, you planting the seed in the spiritual. So once you plant the seed, who has to water that shit? You are planting spiritual kids. Nobody gets that shit. You're planting spiritual kids in the spirit. When every single time you use your masculine rod, every single time, you're making something in the spiritual. You can't be in the spiritual if you don't know how to water shit, because your ass is sitting there eating pork and pig, nigga. No. Pork and cow don't get along. That means you can't go up into the spiritual realm to water that shit. Who gotta water it for you? So when the dude said you gotta pay to play just for Shorty Bang Bang to look your way, seriously, you gotta pay. Every single feminine who has a portal has to answer to the goddess of love, because she answers to the creator. And the creator puts in her womb what he needs to make time. Y'all want to know what a wormhole is, nigga? A little worm go in the hole? A little gopher hole? You want to know what a wormhole is, nigga? So I just want to let y'all know, I would check y'all bank account, y'all spiritual bank account, and see how much money y'all got, because the judgment went down yesterday. Then now y'all got to start paying. Y'all got to start paying it back from the spiritual perspective. All your coins, every single time, back going to when you flew out of your mama. Y'all got paid. It's bankruptcy. Who want to file? You got to go to the court through the mothers. If you bankrupt your seed bank, because you're all Oko. All of the men are Oko. Every single man is Oko. All of y'all. Because y'all have access to the seed. Y'all got access to the seed. And so the seeds, it'd be the pineal gland fluid. It's the pineal gland fluid from the seeds. So you're planting seeds of knowledge wherever you go. So if you planting seeds of knowledge, nigga, you have to have a feminine to water it for you. If your feminine can't fly up to the spiritual realm to water it, the mother's been watering your seed. The mother's been watering your seed. Guess what happened? Guess. You owe her. Y'all owe. And the bank is coming to foreclose your property. Just because you wanted to nut all over something. Just because you wanted to nut. That's on you. That's on y'all. That's y'all fault. It's the control is the name of the game. That's what alchemy. You had to control all of the etherical elements. You had to control elements in order to control the seed. And if you can control the seed, you can control the ego. If you can control the ego, you can control the woman's heart. The woman's heart will then grow the wings to go up and plant and water your seeds. So whatever you wanted was approved by the woman. Oh, especially the black woman, because she automatically get wings. As soon as she born, she just has to learn how to fly. And she just had to learn how to fly. So if you stayed with your feminine and you did your shit and your due diligence and whatnot, young nigga, you about to be rich. I'm not kidding you. I say this at the utmost respect, with the most motherfucking confidence. You about to be rich. Because you understood the power of the black woman. And I'm saying black woman right now because they're first now. You want to know what I mean by that? There's a group of women who have initiated under Aset, under Isis, right? The goddess of love. So if you had a crown for the goddess of love, she put a ticking time in your head, which means you have to check in with her. Your spirit has to check in with her every once in a while. So if you were crowned under Oshun, that's the same, the goddess of love. If you were crowned under Oya, she got the same. Yamiya, if you were crowned under these feminines, from the physical and the spiritual perspective, because some of these black women don't even have to go through initiation because they went through initiation in the womb. They already initiated in the womb. If you are so smart, you understood when you got to a certain point in your journey, all you had to do was pay pay elegua, pay the front door, and you in the system, right? Because in the womb, the mothers birthed you already. I'm talking about Iyami. They birthed in the womb. That means you pass a crown in the womb already, right? So when you come out of the womb, you are already covered and coded in sovereignty, right? So let's rewind it a little bit. When a man turns like 12, 13 years old, right? And they have like ejaculations in their sleep, right? That is a form of initiation as well. That initiation shows you something. If you take that yearning and that energy, it's because back in the what is it? A long time ago, in God, give me the words. Back in the garden, when y'all niggas was supposed to sit y'all ass down, instead y'all went out and then y'all seen the woman and y'all started to grow horny and all that kind of stuff and wanting that. You growing horny. You growing your horns. You becoming a bull, and you becoming a bull. so so once you take that energy from that you flip it. So now that a man is turning like 12, 13 years old and they're doing this, it's because that's showing you that they have connection back to the beginning of time. So if they have connection back to the beginning of time, most of the men who came from the primordial womb, they have access to the seed bank of the mother. Wait, what? They have access to the seed bank of the mother. So if the mother says, hey, go to this woman and plant this seed inside this woman, I need a new baby. I need a new baby. The nigga got to do it. So the niggas with the best motherfucking access to the spiritual realm could go to the zodiac classes or the zodiac signs, and mother says, hey, I need a new Aries, my nigga. I need a new Aries. I need you to go fuck this bitch over on 40th. I need you to go fuck this bitch over on 20th. And he got to do it. Nigga, it's a Rolling Stone. He's a Rolling Stone, meaning he had to hold the world up by pushing the boundaries. When the mother say do something, he couldn't stop the stone from falling on him. He had to push it. Nigga was a Rolling Stone. My daddy was a Rolling Stone. Shit. Otherwise, that whole boulder come and rock your ass out. You have to. If you have access to the primordial wombs and you can go up and fly like a bee, nigga, what did I just say? A bee. That's a key term. You is a bee. So to go get the seed planted in the woman, and then either he has to be able to create a queen from that woman by marrying her or or he got to go to the dream realm to the mother and be like, mother, I planted your seeds, you need to water it. And then guess what she do? She give them back, nigga. She give them bank. In the spirit, she goes, I set so much money in your bank for doing this. I know you wanted to settle down with a queen and be so happy, but nigga, I needed you on the streets. Nigga, I needed you on the streets. Y'all talking about pimping women now, nigga. No. The original pimp was Isis. What I said. She was the original. She was like, all right, now that my seed is planted, I'm about to make you a motherfucking wealthy ass me. I'm about to make you a king, baby. you could continue on this trajectory and you can get to this certain man. If you got to king fucking status back in the day, I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk about it. I just get so excited. I was sitting in the dream realm and I was watching what happened back in the day, how a king was actually originally crowned. It's heavy. It's hot and heavy. It's hot and heavy. It's hot and heavy. It changes the game. Like it, as soon as the spiritual world come down, it's over. It's over. All this shit is over. It's over. And I say that confidently because some of these men, let me tell you, I gotta be. I'm gonna cut this off in a second. As soon as Angel, can you just go watch your thing so I can finish this live? As soon as you got to a status of a king, you were granted access to ether. Not just the primordial womb, right? The primordial womb, you can go in there, you can get your seeds, you can get all the stuff you need to make a garden, period. So if you want to place the garden inside of the woman, or if you want to externalize it and make a weed farm, or if you want to make a flower farm, and you want it to be a farmer, you want it to really ground Oko's energy, you could have did that. But if you wanted to be a spiritual, like where you wanted to take it and you wanted to get to a level where you could create fire from your hands. If you wanted to get to a level and spiritually take this shit to the next level, and you wanted to motherfucking take energy from the moon and sew it into a knight's vest and become a knight, nigga, you could do that. So, but if you made it to the status of a motherfucking king, you could take ether and recreate time. Nigga, you could time hop. So if you had been on your spiritual shit, the niggas, what's coming up next is these niggas about to be able to time hop. Go back and forth, forward, backwards, left, right. They can do whatever the fuck they want because they're king status. If you make it to the king status, that means your pineal gland is connected directly to the mother. And she is feeding you all of the energy she got from ether. She's like, my baby get whatever the fuck he want. My nigga get whatever you want. That nigga was Rolling Stone. That nigga had like 8 babies for me to place all these into them. And then something started happening. The white woman started getting on game quickly. And I was like, how is they doing it? Because the white man or whomever was behind the white man was passing the information to the woman. And then the woman was stealing all these. They were stealing the destinies of these half-black children, right? So they was placing their own seeds into the kids. Instead of, it was supposed to be the mother placing the seeds into the kid. So then these women started going into the dream realm and taking over the marketplace by creating little half-black kids, right? So then they started creating little monsters because the destinies of these people, of these children, weren't cut off. You got to circumcise a head. You know that? You got to circumcise a fucking head at a certain age, especially if it's a male child. You had to go to the dream realm and the mother has to cut the tube of the connection because when you're young, up into a certain age, you're Yemaya. You're under Yemaya. That means you have infinite access into the consciousness of the universe. Infinity access. So if you is on mama boy status, you came a mama boy, that means you stayed within the primordial womb and you were never birthed. The mother never got on her clubs and birthed you from the spiritual, recoded your head and put you back in. That means that you are still a baby. You never grew up because your mama didn't understand She didn't understand the importance of circumcision of the head. Because she's not the mother. She's not the mother. She can't plant fucking orchids. She can't plant destinies. So then you had all of these young ass motherfuckers who never grew up, Peter Pan ass niggas, walking around with no motherfucking destiny, no future ahead of them. And they was cool sitting on mama's couch. What did you do, mom? You didn't check in with the goddess of love so she could circumcise these boys. So their destinies was rerouted to sheep. Nigga, they were sheep then. And then you weren't a Rolling Stone. You was just addicted to fucking sex. You was just addicted to that feeling. But what you don't understand, every time you play, you gotta pay. Every time that came, the mother got to replace the blood vessels you just bursted in your head. She got to replace it with new information. So this is why the Rolling Stone was so important, because every time he did, he was digging to get new information. The mother was giving him, she was like, damn, you quit. That's a lot. And it had her working the fuck out with these buckets of water, pouring it on it in your head. It says, that's what I really mean by wet. Nigga, big old buckets. I'm talking big old buckets. Sometimes that's gold buckets, nigga. Okay. I'm too hyped right now. Sometimes it's golden bucket. Do you know what I mean by golden buckets? Buckets of liquid gold poured on into your head. So that's gold information. That means if you got to a status of a gold information and you can make a bitch give you gold information, that means you're already a king. But that also means that you is a magician. That means that you were under Tahuti. You were under Tahuti. You were under the moon. You were under the ibis. And if you're under the ibis, you were writing stuff down. And you became a scribe. And eventually, if you become under the scribe, under the Tahuti timeline, you transversed to a different class and became the dealer. Nigga, you became a dealer. Either a drug dealer, a motherfucking information dealer, a pastor, a preacher. You got your money that way. But when people have access to that much ether, then when you a king, you got to figure out a way to make the money from all that information, right? Whether it be boots on the ground, nigga, walking and getting that information, or whether it be becoming a teacher. Because then if a teacher, if you become a real teacher, like I'm talking about, like you sitting on the ground, you moving stones through the earth, and you're figuring out times and whatnot, you were being watched heavily. Everybody who was on the mat was being watched, because if you dealing a card and you steal a stone, from the mat, you steal a seed from the mat out of the mother's pocketbook. Y'all don't get it. Y'all really don't get time, huh? You stole a seed under the mother's pocketbook while you was shifting your timeline, when you was playing when you was playing cards and turning over tarot. Ooh, you was stealing. That's what people don't get. You was doing tarot. You was stealing. If you don't have enough energy and information, you was just pulling from the air, right? I'm a magician. Blinded, eyes closed, pulling whatever you wanted. You was doing it under false pretense, which means you was stealing from the mother's pocketbook of ether, because all those cards have to be grounded in time. And if you ain't got no motherfucking money, you owe the mother. You owe money to the bank and you bankrupted yourself. You bankrupted your account. So any of your future earnings is gone. That means your destiny. You played it. You fucked around and you played your destiny. You don't have a hand no more because you spent all your money. So then you got to go be a slave. So then your whole head. This is what I was talking about earlier when I was telling everybody that when some people woke up this morning, they didn't feel like themselves. They felt different. Yeah, you had to be replaced because you owe so much money. So some of these people walking around ain't the real people. They're not real because they were so in debt. They was spiritually bankrupt. You think you could just be physically bankrupt? Where the fuck they get that from? Where they steal that from? Where they steal that from? Nah, they was spiritually bankrupt, so they had to be repossessed. Nigga, your car gotta get repossessed if you don't pay that motherfucker. Your soul gotta get repossessed if you don't pay that motherfucker, huh? It got to. That was on you, baby. That was on y'all. For real, I'm not joking. I honestly, right hand to God, right hand on my heart and up. If you didn't know how to use your spiritual money correctly and you was just giving it away for physical money, just give. Here, take the spiritual coins. I don't fucking know what they are. And just getting the physical money, you bankrupt, baby. You bankrupt. So you gotta get in line. You gotta go sit in court, wait for your court date. Because all the judgments were passed down from the higher ups yesterday. So now today, the lines is forming again for the people who were spiritually bankrupt. And the judgment's got to go down, and the conch shell has to be hit. And then, depending on where you got to go, some of y'all got to go back to the past to be the slave to build the pyramids. We need more people building the pyramids. So, building in the past for the future. It's a cyclical thing. So let me go back, and then I'm going to shut down. We're going to take back to your first time, right? Oh, God is pulling the ear. That means I got to stop. I was so excited to talk about the first time and how much money that cost. Can I just say it, Papa? No? All right. Bye, guys. I did enough.